Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Mr. Poston. Counsel at the jail, can I get your name, please?
Noella Valentine.
Thank you, Miss Valentine.
Good morning.
Good morning, Noella.
Good morning.
Are we ready, Your Honor?
Yes,
Mr. Dominguez will be first.
thank you. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Yes, ma'am. Esteban Antonio Dominguez Espinosa.
Thank you, Mr. Dominguez Espinosa. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you for some new misdemeanor charges out of Tucson City Court. Charges are for assault, assault domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and disorderly conduct domestic violence. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. All right, in this case, sir, you have somewhere you can go. Do you still live on the Victor Drive address?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. Conditions include do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. At this time, no contact with your girlfriend. I believe she's a minor, and I think it's her brother, Michael and Amia. No contact with them at this time. Don't try to go find them or anything like that. You don't have anything at their house?
Well, I have like some clothes and
Okay.
I let Michael like borrow a phone.
Okay, so you can
Seems like-
return to the residence one time with law enforcement escort to pick up some personal belongings, but otherwise don't return there, okay? All right, your next court date is gonna be July 8th at 1:30 p.m. It's about a month from today. When you get released from jail today, you'll get a sheet of paper with a date, time, address, phone number. If you can't make that date for whatever reason, you call them and you let them know to get a new court date. If you fail to appear for court, whether it's that July 8th date or a future date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence but unable to be sentenced within 90 days due to warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. So it's your best interest to show up to court to get this taken care of. You understand all that, Mr. Dominguez Espinosa?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Gilbert.
Good morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Andrew Gilbert.
A middle name, Kay?
Andrew K. Gilbert.
Thank you, Ms. Gilbert. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for a failure to appear out of Pima County Justice Court for an assault charge. Looks like offense date is back in 2022. And you also have a failures to appear from Tucson City. Those are for domestic violence assault, or excuse me, disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and then you have some new charges for domestic violence assault, criminal damage, disorderly conduct. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, oh, excuse me, there's some more charges from Tucson City Court, drug paraphernalia, assault, disorderly conduct. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you.
Are those all new charges?
No, so you had some new charges from Tucson City Court. Your dad is the listed victim, Dwayne Gilbert, but everything else is failures to appear from Justice Court and from Tucson City Court.
He's the victim, but I have a black eye from him. He's the victim, but I have a black eye.
All right, well, I don't know the specific circumstances, but I'm going to appoint you an attorney on all your cases. On your Justice Court cases, it's going to be Caitlin Waters. I'm going to appoint her to represent you. Your next court date will be tomorrow, June 3rd at 1 p.m. So you'll see a judge tomorrow, and this is on the justice court case. That's for the failure to appear at justice court. The bond is going to be $250, cash or secured. If you do post it, ma'am, conditions include no acts of domestic violence, no contact with whoever the victim is of the assault in the justice court case. You know, again, like I say, you'll see a judge tomorrow on that one. On the
I
Tucson,
believe we have court for that one tomorrow at 4 p.m. There's a trial for that one tomorrow at 4.
well, it's a failure to appear, so I don't think you have a trial scheduled right now.
Yeah, I believe there is, or one of them, it's for tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm not sure. I believe it's for that one.
Okay, well, there was a failure to appear warrant issued back in 2024, so I'm not sure about that, but you'll see a judge tomorrow at 1 on that case. All right, for your Tucson City court cases, ma'am, it's also going to be a $500 bond, cash or secured. I'll appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. If you do post the bond or if you're released on the Tucson City court case, conditions include do not commit any acts of domestic violence, no contact with any alleged victims, don't return to any victim's residence or work. Next court date will be next week, June 10th at 1:45 p.m. Attorney will be there as well. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. As you can see, trial can go in your absence. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence, but you're not able to be sentenced within 90 days due to warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to show to court, Ms. Gilbert?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to enter not
So-
guilty pleas on your behalf. Yes,
So
go ahead.
am I being released today?
No, you have bonds on both because of the failures to appear. The justice court is $250 and the Tucson City will be $500.
I need to, how do I get a hold of like the FBI? I need to speak with them on some other issues, but it's like highly important that they know that I'm here.
Okay, well, you can talk to your attorneys about that. You'll see Ms. Waters tomorrow. You'll have an attorney on your justice court case and Tucson City Public Defender for next week.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today. Okay.
And we're back.
All right, good morning, Mr. Avila.
Hello.
Oh. All right, so I'm seeing you today, Mr. Avila, on a review hearing. This is for a warrant out of Pinal County. I guess the charge is for burglary. I know you're pending stuff in Superior Court right now. I see that you're in Rule 11 in Superior Court. You have a hearing in July. Does that sound about right?
No,
No?
it doesn't.
Not going through Rule 11 right now in Superior Court?
No, I'm not. I'm quite confident. So I feel like to test my competency would make you incompetent. So, I mean, but it's okay. I'm not sure what their procedures are, but I did get some paperwork that said they're gonna try to do Rule 11 on me, though.
Well, what I saw is that in Pima County Superior Court, you have a case right now that's going through Rule 11 process. And the next court date for that is July 12th. So I'm going to kick this out till August 4th, about 2 months, just to see what's happening with your local charges.
Yeah. Thank you. I should be all right. I think I'll be released very soon. Appreciate it, though.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the jail, Mrs. Buckland and Mrs. Whitehorse are still out of the facility and will not be attending.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm sorry it took us a minute to get the other guy back.
Yeah.
Never mind, I believe our court clerk on this side let you guys know about the two.
Yes, I was told about Miss Buckland and Miss Whitehorse.
Correct, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Good morning, Damian Anthony Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. This is the time set for your review hearing. I'm seeing you on your out-of-county warrant from Pinal County Superior Court on the aggravated assault. Looks like you have a petition to revoke probation in Pima County Superior Court that's pending. You have a hearing, I think, on Friday. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, well, what was happening with that? Like 2 weeks ago, they were gonna let me go to rehab, but since they saw that I had this other charge, they're just holding me for this. So basically, it's up to what's gonna happen with this. They're just seeing if you're gonna let me go to rehab or if I'm gonna have to get extradited over there. But the thing I was wondering about this court is because it was like years ago, but I got this case successfully terminated, so I don't know why it came back up.
Well, it's possible. I have limited information because it's from out of county. It's possible they might have dismissed it and they refiled the charges.
Yeah.
That might have been what happened. I can't exonerate the bond at this point because it's from out of county. I know very little about this case. So you can let your probation officer know that the bond's going to remain on this case. So you probably will be extradited to that other, once everything is finalized here in Pima County, you'll probably be extradited over there to Pinal County.
All right. How long would that take?
The extradition, once all the holds are done, so if you get disposition or the petition to revoke is dismissed or whatever happens with that, then it's about a week or two before the other county picks you up.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. They're waiting on the other county to say what's gonna happen. So
Right, but
they're
right now it looks like I think you're held without bond on your probation case in Pima County. So it hasn't been resolved yet. The Pima County hasn't been resolved yet. Yeah, it says you're held without bond on the Pima County probation case. So they won't pick you up until it's all done.
Yeah, because they're waiting on Pinal County.
Okay. I don't know if you have a way, sir, to call at the jail to Pinal County Public Defender's Office to see if they can help you out with this one. But really, this just tags along until your probation case is finalized. Whether that petition to revoke is dismissed or whether you have a revocation or disposition in Superior Court, but this just tags along until that's all done.
All right. So what would I say to my my lawyer? Because she's the one who's like, oh yeah, we don't want to well, they want to release me to rehab and stuff. That's what they wanted to do, but she's like, well, you got this other charge, so we're not sure what to do right now. So we're just gonna keep it going because we're gonna release you to the rehab, but since you got this other case, we're not gonna say anything right now. We're just gonna see what Pinal County says. So they're waiting on Pinal County, so they're not really gonna resolve the issue I got here until they see what happens in Pinal County.
Okay, then they have to remove the bond then. Being held without bond, they have to remove that so that they can take you to Pinal County, resolve whatever's happening in Pinal County.
All right. Well, I'll talk to my lawyer about it.
Yeah, they're not going to take you to Pinal County until everything is done in Pima County.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'll reset this 2 weeks till June 16th. All right. Hopefully that's enough information for your attorney for now. All right, you're excused, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor, the attorney is online. Can we ask the jail if he can be moved up though because the attorney
Hello? Oh.
All right. Excuse me, sir, can I get your full name, please?
Carlos Sanders Jr.
All right, any middle names, Alberto?
Yep, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Yanez. This is the time set for your review hearing. I'm seeing you on a child support warrant from Yavapai County Superior Court. Looks like you have felony charges pending in Pima County Superior Court right now. You have a hearing this week for motion to modify and then a CMC next week. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to reset this case for two. Do you know if you're planning on taking a plea in that Pima County case? I think it was a misdemeanor plea. Do you know if you plan on taking that yet?
No, they're not yet.
Reset this matter for 3 weeks to June 23rd to see what the status is of your Pima County case.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, at the jail, is it possible to see Mr. Michael Neal? He's under Tucson misdemeanors. Is it possible to see him sooner?
It is.
Thank you. And Miss Amanda, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself until it's your turn to speak, I'll let you know.
Yes, second.
If you wouldn't mind muting yourself until it's your turn. Thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Michael Neal, Michael Lee Neal Sr.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. This is the time set for your initial appearance. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Whitman. Mr. Neal, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on some new misdemeanor charges out of Tucson City Court for interference with the judicial proceedings, which is alleged to be domestic violence. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one, one may be appointed for you. It looks like you've retained counsel, Ms. Whitman, who is present. So, sir, I'm going to be setting some release conditions for you today. Ms. Whitman, I plan on releasing Mr. Neal on his own recognizance. Did you have any argument you wanted to make regarding release, Ms. Whitman?
No, I would just ask that the court release him on his own recognizance. He has local ties to the community, including his wife, adult children, and family and friends. He has been a resident of Arizona for the entirety of his adulthood. He's not a flight risk, and he has no prior convictions, and certainly not a risk to the community. And given the misdemeanor nature of the charge, I would have asked for OR release, and it sounds like the court intends to impose that anyways. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Neal, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. So you'll be released from jail this morning. Conditions include do not commit any further acts of domestic violence, no contact with the alleged victim in this case. I believe it's your granddaughter, Nasadia Neal. There's also an active order protection at this point with protected persons with Nasadia as well as Alyssa Robles listed. So sir, as long as that order protection is in effect, no contact with them, okay? And if you want to contest that, you can talk to your attorney about contesting that order. All right, your next court date will be July 8th at 9 a.m. at the Tucson City Court. If you fail to appear for court, whether it's that July 8th date or a future date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at trial in your absence but unable to be sentenced within 90 days due to warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to show to court, Mr. Neal?
Do you know the consequences?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf and make sure you keep in contact with your attorney, Ms. Whitman. Was there anything else for today, Ms. Whitman?
Nothing additional. Thank you.
Thank you. Your excuse for today, Mr. Neal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Isaac Arthur Banks.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for failure to appear out of Pima County Justice Court for driving under the influence. Looks like the offense date is back in 2018. The warrant issued in 2024. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint Jill Gukin to represent you.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So because of the failure to appear and the age of the offense date, I am going to impose a bond in this case. It's going to be $500, cash or secured. If you do post that bond or if you're released, do not drive without a valid driver's license. Next court date's actually tomorrow, so you're actually going to see a judge tomorrow, June 3rd at 1 p.m. Ms. Gukin will be there. All right. As you can see, sir, when you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Banks?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Your excuse for today.
All right, thank you. No problem.
All right. Good morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Christopher D'Angelo Bravo.
Thank you, Mr. Bravo. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing today on new misdemeanor charges out of Pima County Justice Court. They are for disorderly conduct, domestic violence, and assault domestic violence, which are misdemeanors. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. I believe Amanda, your sister's on the line. Ma'am, did you want to be heard? You can press *6, or it looks like you're already unmuted. Go ahead, ma'am. Did you want to be heard? Miss Amanda? Miss Amanda Bravo, did you want to be heard on your brother getting released or any conditions of release?
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes.
You're
I'm sorry,
okay?
what was that?
Did you want to be heard? Did you want him to have further contact with you? Do you want him to come back home?
Yes. Yes, he can come back home and he can have further contact with me. And yes, I like to be heard. And no personal charges, please.
Okay. Well, in terms of pressing charges or not, you'll have to talk to the judge about that in the prosecutor's office and victim services. But as for today, Mr. Bravo, I will release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. So you're getting out of jail today. Conditions include no acts of domestic violence, and looks like you are on probation out of Superior Court. So
Okay, I'm
contact your
sorry.
probation officer, sir, when you get out of jail. Your next court date will be June 12th at 10:30 a.m. at the Pima County Justice Court. When you get out of jail today, you'll get a sheet of paper with the date, time, address, and all that. For whatever reason, if you can't make that court date, you call them and you let them know. If you don't show up and you don't call them, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Okay? You understand all that, Mr. Bravo?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, sir. Your excuse for today.
Thank you.
Ingram.
Ms. Bravo. Good morning. Can I get your full name, sir?
Good morning, ma'am. Your Honor.
Is it
I filed a motion for this case to appear in court. I filed it 2 weeks ago, but I did file it. I have the money on me today. I could make a payment for Yuma, but I tried to call Yuma so many times. They've never returned my phone. I've literally tried to call Yuma for months now. I left messages. I wrote a letter that I've never been returned.
Okay.
I really,
Paul Andrew Ingram, is that it? Mr. Ingram?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a failure to appear warrant out of Yuma Justice Court for criminal damage. And also you have a, let's see here.
I believe it's the same thing.
Warrant. So there's two things. I'm seeing you on a post-adjudicated warrant out of Pima County Justice Court, failure to appear for criminal damage. There's two things I'm seeing you on today.
And I filed a motion on the one in Pima County I didn't mean to. I have mental health issues. I have my own VA disability for it. I'm alone right now. My mother died. I'm working on finding a new attendant, but I really have my stuff with it.
Hold on, let me say my things and then I'll let you speak, okay? All right, you
Yes,
have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. All right, so you're telling me that you filed a motion to appear in justice court as well as the Yuma court?
Yes, ma'am. I've been calling you. I really want to take care of this. I've been calling Yuma constantly. I'll call again today. Maybe you know of another way to get a hold of you, but I really want to pay that fine. I did not want to. You know, I'm at risk of losing my stuff again. I've lost my stuff so much because when my mom died. I got a social worker now, and I'm really working hard. I'm going to go to the VA from here actually. And I don't want to live in that house where I was either.
I'm sorry, one more thing, sir. My apologies. Looks like you also have new charges out of Tucson City Court as well. Let me tell you about those. So there's 3 counts of disorderly conduct with some neighbors, which are misdemeanors as well. I'm seeing you on 3 separate things today, sir, okay?
Oh, I got charged for that. All I did was that they have a kid that, you know, I'm going to go to court for this one. I can't take, I know no recidivism. I didn't even commit the crime. I'm really working hard on this.
Okay, hold on. All right, so you have a stable residence right now? That's on
What's that?
Georgetown? Is that 1102 South Georgetown? Is that where you live?
Yes.
Okay.
But thank you. I'm so sorry about that. But I was actually kind of like having an episode at the time. I'm sorry about that.
All right. All right, for Yuma City or Yuma Justice Court case, sir, I'm going to give you new court dates. So when you get released from jail today, you'll have your new court dates there, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'll follow through on this. I'm trying. Okay.
So hold on. On the Yuma court case, I'm releasing you on your own promise to appear for the next court date. It's going to be July 14th at 1 p.m.
I hit a court date yesterday. That'll make it easier to pay it. Thank you.
All right. And on the Pima County Justice Court case, that one is post-adjudicated, but the warrant was pretty recent and you're telling me you filed some papers to get a new court date. So I will release you on your own recognizance on that one as well.
Thank you. I really want to take care of this. I really like to live in this town.
Okay, it's going to be June 12th on that one. All right, so you're going to get 3 sheets of paper and get released today, all right? But I'm telling you the dates right now. This one is June 12th at 8:30 a.m. If you, conditions include no contact with the alleged victims of the criminal damage, not return to the incident location. Okay, and then for your Tucson City Court case, sir, that one as well, release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. Don't have contact with your neighbors. Don't have contact with the alleged victims. All right, next court date for that will be July 2nd. So you got 3 court dates you got to keep track of.
I can
3 separate courts.
Okay. I have transportation now too.
Okay, well, that's really good. All right. So on all 3 cases, sir, you're gonna have 3 court dates. I'm releasing you on your own recognizance for all 3, okay? But as you can see, when you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence, but not able to be sentenced within 90 days due to warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. You understand the consequences of failing to show to court, Mr. Ingram?
What's that?
You understand the consequences of failing to show to court?
Yes, I totally do it. Today's
I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf for your Tucson City Court case. Like I said, when you get released today, you'll get 3 sheets of paper. Make sure you make those court dates. If you can't, you call them and you let them know to reschedule. Otherwise, warrants can issue. All right. Good luck to you, sir. Your release or your Excuse for today. All right. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Thomas Atili.
All right, Mr. Atili, this is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you on some new misdemeanor charges of 3 counts of disorderly conduct, domestic violence out of Pima County Justice Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. Looks like in this case, your mother and your roommates are okay with you returning home and having continued contact. So I will release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. Conditions include do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. You can return to the shared residence with your mother and your roommates or not. It's up to you. You can have continued contact with them if you'd like as well. Your next court date is going to be June 12th at 10:30 a.m. at the Pima County Justice Court downtown. When you get released from jail today, you'll get a sheet of paper with a date, time, address. If you can't make that date for whatever reason, you call them and you let them know to get a new court date. Otherwise, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand all that, Mr. Atili?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Thank you.
Good morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Jazzia Medativia.
Middle name, is it Delaire?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you, Ms. Medativia. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a new misdemeanor charge for criminal damage, domestic violence out of Pima County Justice Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, one may be appointed for you. And ma'am, if I release you today, do you have somewhere you can go that is not with your grandmother?
I know. I don't.
You don't have any other friends or family members in the area?
I don't. I mean, I could possibly try and like reach out to my mom, but really, I don't.
Okay. All right, pretrial was not able to contact your grandmother for today's hearing, so we couldn't get her input on if she wants you to return, if she wants further contact, all right? All right, I am going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. Conditions include no acts of domestic violence. At this time, you have to establish alternate housing from Thelma Delaire. Like you said, reach out to your mother. Also, once you get released from jail today, just the east side of the jail, I think I've heard there's a blue line or something, but just the east side of the jail, there's a Pima County Transition Center. They help with temporary housing situations. You might want to stop by with them to see what kind of temporary housing you could look into in the meanwhile, okay?
Okay.
All right, next court date will be June 12th at 10:30 a.m. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. And at some point between now and then, if your grandmother reaches out to yourself or reaches out to the prosecutor's office or victim services and says that you're okay with returning home, or reaches out to your mother, kind of like a three-way thing, then you can address that with the judge at the next date.
Okay.
But at this time, you have to establish alternate housing. You can return one time with police escort to pick up your personal belongings.
Okay.
All right, you're excused for today. Thank you, Ms. Medativia.
Olson.
Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Darius Goldmith.
Thank you, Mr. Goldsmith. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a failure to comply with a court order, domestic violence, which is a misdemeanor. This is out of Tucson City Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney and appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. And looks like you're also pending a Tucson City Court case right now. It's ordered consolidating that case with this one, CM 2502109. Okay. And it's also alleged that the victim is the same, Leilani Webster. All right. So at this time, sir, I am going to, well, let me see. Wait, that's all right, because you are pending a city court case and have new charges for a similar matter, I am going to impose a bond. It's going to be $100 cash. If you do post the bond, sir, conditions would include do not commit any further acts of domestic violence, no contact with Ms. Webster, don't go to her residence or anything like that. I don't know if you have personal property there at her residence, but if you do, one time with police escort to retrieve those belongings. All right, hold on, let me say my things and I'll let you ask any questions. All right, your next court date is going to be June 11th at 1:30 p.m. at the Tucson City Court. If you fail to appear for court, whether it's at June 11th date or a future date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence but unable to be sentenced within 90 days due to warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to show to court, Mr. Goldsmith?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. You had a question, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
What was it?
It's my residence. That's what I was trying to get figured out yesterday when I went back to get my backpack.
Okay, and are you renting or?
Yes, ma'am. I'm renting, and that's the only place I have to stay. I just moved down here to Tucson like three weeks ago, and I'm working at Walmart overnight.
Okay. Well, I cannot have any orders for her. I can't kick her out. All right, I'm going to reduce the bond to $50, sir.
Thank you.
All right, you'll have an attorney, so that's the Tucson City Public Defender's Office. You ask them about kind of what might be the best options for you regarding your housing situation. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Excuse for today.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Robert Mahia.
Thank you, Mr. Mahia. I'm seeing you today from Tucson City Court on 2 petitions to revoke probation. The first one is CM 2200904. It's alleged that on April 19, 2022, you're adjudicated guilty of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and threatening or intimidating, that you're placed on unsupervised probation for 2 years. And the city prosecutor's office is alleging that you picked up some new charges, and they've listed the cases there. And all the new charges relate to returning to the address of Evangelina Mahia, which you were, as part of probation, you were not to return within 1,000 feet of her address. And then the second petition to revoke is on CM 220200974. It's alleged that you were convicted on October 4th, 23 of criminal trespass and placed on unsupervised probation for 2 years, and alleged that you violated probation by failing to provide proof of non-intimate partner domestic violence counseling. So failing to conduct counseling.
Oh yeah,
All right, I'm gonna enter not guilty pleas on your behalf, sir. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Looks like this is, at least the first one, the petition to revoke is from 2022. The other one is more recent from this year. I'm going to impose a bond, sir, of $500 since these are post-adjudication. At least one of these warrants have been going on for quite some time. It's going to be $500 cash. If you do post the bond or if you're released, conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, do not commit any acts of domestic violence, no contact with the alleged victim of your probation case. It's Evangelina Mahia. All right. Your next date will be next week, June 9th at 1:45 p.m. with Judge Blue, and your attorney will be there. As you can see, sir, when you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could get that bond reduced to like $100. I can't really afford $100 right now. It's that's a lot. I've been trying, you know, it's just like life's been kind of hectic and stuff like that. And I do mean well. I just like I said, like just life's been crazy, but I mean I do mean well, man. I promise, like I'll get it together, you know. And I appreciate you, like just hear me out, and
I hear you, sir. I hear you, sir. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you one more thing. Looks like you do have a adult probation hold in Superior Court as well. So I'm not seeing you on that today, but you're being held without bond on that Superior Court case. So regardless of what I do today, that you'll be seen by Superior Court judge on that one. But it's going to be the $500. I hear you, sir, but it's going to be the $500 right now. That's the amount of the warrant that was already taken out by city court judges. So I'll honor that. All right. Well, you'll have a judge, you'll have an attorney, and you can talk to the judge about it next week.
on the Superior Court case, there's no release on that.
Well, you're going to see a judge, and I don't know if you've seen a judge yet, but right now it says held without bond on the Superior Court case. So if you haven't seen a judge yet, you will see the judge probably this week on that one.
Okay.
All right. But the Tucson City Court case one, you'll see a judge next week on that.
All right.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Stanley.
Good morning. Can I have your full name, please?
Ishana Silva Stanley.
All right, Miss Stanley, Miss Stanley, this is a time set for your initial appearance. Do you have two last names?
No, Silva Interiana is my middle name. Stanley is my last name.
All right, thank you, Miss Stanley, for that clarification. I'm seeing you today out of Tucson City Court for a new misdemeanor charge of domestic violence disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor. It looks like you're currently on probation right now. I'm not seeing you anything on the probation, just seeing that you are on probation right now out of Superior Court. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Looks like you're also pending a case out of Tucson City Court with the same victim, Mr. Espoir. Sort of vacating the July 10th date, which basically means I'm consolidating everything. Everything's going to be one court date for Tucson City. You'll have an attorney, the Tucson City Public Defender. Because you are pending a case right now with similar charges, I'm going to impose a bond of $100 cash. If you do post that bond, and the conditions would include no acts of domestic violence at this time, no contact with Mr. Espoir, don't return to his residence or anything like that. If you have any property at the residence, or if it was previously a shared residence, you can return with law enforcement escort to retrieve personal belongings. All right, it's also already consolidating this matter with CM 240034988. Your next court date, ma'am, will be June 9th at 1:45 p.m. That's next week with Judge Million. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence but unable to be sentenced within 90 days due to warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to show to court, Ms. Stanley?
Yes.
Right, thank you. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. You'll see a judge next week and you'll have an attorney, okay? Your excuse for today.
Thank you.
Morning, can I get your full name, please?
Manuel Navaro.
Middle name, Philip.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Navaro. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some new felony charges. We have murder in the first degree, armed robbery, possession of narcotics for sale, and possession of weapon during a felony drug offense. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you have counsel seated next to you for purposes of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is $1 million bond. Mr. Poston, does the state want to be heard further?
Your Honor, this reads as an absolutely brutal murder. $1 million is standard in this case. The person shot somebody in the face and torso. They're dead. This person is a danger to the community. $1 million.
Thank you. Ms. Valentine?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're requesting a $250,000 bond in this case. He's a lifelong resident of Tucson. He has no priors, felony convictions, and his mother's willing to support him and transport him to court if he is released. Thank you.
Thank you. Given the allegations of the offenses, I am going to impose $1 million bond. It will be cash, released to pretrial if the bond is posted. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, monitoring treatment as directed by pretrial if you post the bond, or if you're released, no contact absolutely with the victim's next of kin. Do not try to find them or anything like that. Your next court date, sir, will be a preliminary hearing on June 12th at 1:30 p.m. That date may or may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney, the public defender. If you fail to appear for court, whether it's that date or a future date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Understand all that, Mr. Navaro? All
Yes, ma'am.
right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Yeah. I think back there, someone. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Remember what we're going to. Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Have a seat, guys. Bassam?
Oh, Bassam.
Thank you, Ms. Bassam. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today out of 3 courts. One is for felonies, possession of narcotic drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Then we also have from Pima County Justice Court, failure to appear. For possession of drug paraphernalia. And you also have Tucson City Court, failures to appear for multiple counts of drug paraphernalia, theft, shoplifting, trespass, shoplifting. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. For your felony case, ma'am, I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office. For your city court case, I'll appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office. And for your justice court case, I'll appoint Ms. Caitlin Waters. And you have counsel seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, ma'am. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint, and for the felony case, the state's written recommendation is a $1,500 bond and screen for steps. Mr. Poston, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Valentine?
Your Honor, we're requesting pretrial services based on the steps eligibility and lack of felony prior history. If not, however, we're requesting a $500 bond in the case.
And Ms. Valentine, if I hold Ms. Bassam on the misdemeanor cases, would you like that nominal bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bassam, the state is saying you may be eligible to participate in a pre-indictment drug diversion substance abuse treatment program. Would you be interested?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That program is called STEPS. I'll set you a STEPS hearing next week, June 9th at 9 a.m. You'll find out if you qualify for that program next week. If you do qualify and you complete it successfully, then the felony charges would be dismissed. All right, I will impose a bond of $500 on the felony matter, cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. Conditions, if you post that bond or if you're released on the felony case, include no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, monitoring treatment as directed by pretrial. The preliminary hearing date will be June 12th at 1:30 p.m. On your justice court case, ma'am, I'm going to impose a bond of $50, cash or secured. If you do post that bond or if you're released, conditions include no drugs, no alcohol. I think I told you earlier, I'm appointing Ms. Caitlin Waters to represent you. Next court date's actually tomorrow, June 3rd at 1 p.m. So you'll see the judge tomorrow on your justice court case. And then on your Tucson City court cases, I'm going to impose a bond of $500 for this one as well. It's going to be cash or secured. If you do post that bond or if you're released from Tucson City Court, no drugs, no alcohol, no contact with any alleged victims of the shoplifting or the trespasses, don't return to the businesses. Next court date for Tucson City will be June 10th. That's next week at 1:45 p.m. As you can see, ma'am, when you fail to appear for court, warrants can issue for your arrest. You'll have attorneys on all three of your cases. You understand all that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
No, I just need to talk to my degrees. Whenever, I said, well, can I get my phone? So I said, your phone number, I believe, for people to. It's hard, nice. And my phone number. Just. I'm like, I've never done this before. I don't know what you're just, you know, like this is nice. I was just asking her to come for it. But you're going to right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Franco. Oh, yeah. All right. So late.
All right, good morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Good morning, Jessica, the name's Franco.
Ms. Franco, this is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing today on some new felony charges, domestic violence, aggravated assault, and domestic violence kidnapping. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you have counsel seated next to you for purposes of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, ma'am. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $35,000 bond. Mr. Poston, would you like to be heard further?
Your Honor, this was a particularly nasty assault that included the defendant trying to prevent the victim from leaving. It involved human bites. As I'm sure the court's aware, that's worse than any animal out there, short of, oh, I don't know, a rattlesnake or a Gila monster. But this person's probably looking at some serious injuries and probably antibiotics. So this is a fairly brutal assault, $35,000. And it is DV.
Thank you, Mr. Poston. Ms. Valentine?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're requesting the court to consider release to pretrial services, given that the defendant has no felony criminal history. And also importantly, she has confirmed separate housing with her sister. So she's requesting the ability to be able to take care of the case while out of custody. However, if the court's not inclined to grant pretrial services release, we are requesting a $5,000 bond.
All right, thank you. Do you think a bond is appropriate given the allegations? I'll impose a bond of $25,000. Will be cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. And if you do post the bond, if you're released, Ms. Franco, the conditions would include no acts of domestic violence, absolutely no contact with Rain Taylor, go to your house or anything like that. You may return one time with police escort to pick up any personal belongings if you haven't had any family members do so already. No weapons, monitoring treatment as directed by pretrial. Your next court date, Ms. Franco, will be June 12th at 1:30 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney, the public defender. If you fail to appear for court, whether it's that date or a future date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand that, Ms. Franco? All right, thank you, ma'am. You're excused for today.
So she said that I have to. We should have got the so he's signing my things can I get an escort when I get out? Gonzalez called.
Ouch.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Philip Gonzalez,
Middle name, Anthony?
middle name Anthony.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. This is a time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a new felony charge for unlawful flight from law enforcement. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you have counsel seated next to you for purposes of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, Mr. Gonzalez. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $2,500 bond. Mr. Poston, would you like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Valentine?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're requesting release to pretrial services. Mr. Gonzalez is 54 years old with no prior felony history. He has full-time employment in his own residence, and so he will appear for court in the future. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez, I will release you to pretrial services. You'll get out of jail today, but you have to keep in contact with pretrial services as often as they ask you to. Conditions of your release include, sir, do not drive without a valid driver's license, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Monitoring treatment is directed by pretrial. Your next court date, sir, will be a preliminary hearing on June 23rd at 1:30 p.m. When you get released from jail today, you'll get a sheet of paper with the date and all that. That date may or may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, whether it's that June 23rd date or a future date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yeah, well, I get some paperwork. I send birthday time.
Yeah. Yep, when you get released today. All right. You're excused for today. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm gonna be released today.
Larry Poe, which way?
Second.
Your Honor, for this case coming up, the state would inquire as if there's a probation hold because LA law enforcement is highly intimated that there should be already.
Jill, can you all confirm that Mr. Larry Poe has a probation hold?
Do not have a probation hold at this time, Your Honor, but he did get some added charges that he will be seen on tonight.
Sorry, there's additional charges he'll be seen on tonight?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Can you say if they're felonies or something else?
Yes, they are felonies.
Thank you. All right, can I get your full name, sir?
Tristan Darius Larry Poe, man.
All right, thank you, Mr. Larry Poe. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a new felony charge for unlawful means of use of transportation, meaning being a passenger in a stolen vehicle. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you have counsel seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $7,500 bond. Mr. Poston, would you like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Valentine?
Your Honor, we're requesting release to pretrial services. Since there's no probation hold, he can live with his mother. He does have one felony prior, but it seems like he's been on probation since 2024. If the court's not inclined to grant pretrial services release, we're asking for a $1,000 bond. Thank you.
Thank you. I do understand there's no probation hold at this time, but there's an allegation of on probation. So sorry, I'm going to impose a bond of $1,000. Will be cash, released to pretrial if posted. If you do post the bond, sir, conditions include do not drive without a valid driver's license, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, monitoring treatment as directed, not have contact with the owner of the vehicle. All right, next court date is June 12th at 1:30 PM for a preliminary hearing. Oh, sorry, and you are also, if you post the bond, if you're released, contact your probation officer upon your release. All right, next
Yes,
court
ma'am.
date will be June 12th, sir, at 1:30 PM for preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you
Yes, ma'am.
understand the consequences of failing to show to court, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And don't know if you heard the jail, looks like you might be seeing a different judge this evening on some different charges. Okay, all right, good luck to you, sir. You're excused for today. All right, good morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Danielle Parks.
All right, thank you, Ms. Parks. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on new felony charges for possession of narcotic drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. You also have some failures to appear at a Tucson City Court. Therefore, drug paraphernalia, prescription drugs, theft, shoplifting. And then you also have a failure to appear out of Oro Valley City Court for a theft as well. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. For your felony case, I will appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you have counsel seated next to you for purpose of today. For your Tucson City Court case, I'll appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. And for the Oro Valley case, I'll appoint Richard Glenn to represent you. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, Ms. Parks, on all three of your cases. For your felony case, I have reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is release to pretrial screen for steps. Is that correct, Mr. Poston?
It is.
Thank you. Ms. Valentine?
We're requesting release to pretrial services as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Valentine, the court does intend to hold Ms. Parks on the misdemeanor matters. Would you like a nominal bond on the felony case?
Please, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Parks, the state is saying you may be eligible to participate in a drug diversion program for substance abuse treatment and counseling. Would you be interested?
Yes.
So that program is called STEPS. I'll set you a STEPS hearing for next Monday, June 9th at 9 a.m. So you'll find out next week if you qualify for that program. If you qualified, if you complete the program successfully, they dismiss the felony charges.
Okay.
All right, the next court date after that will be June 12th at 1:30 p.m. I will impose a bond of $100, cash or secured, release to pretrial if posted on the felony matter. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, monitoring treatment are directed by pretrial. For the Oro Valley City All right, you're excused for today. Thank you.
So, like, not leaving. What?
Oh, we have them. I can't.
My glasses, sorry.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Dylan Potts.
Middle name, Michael?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Potts. This is the time set for your notice. I'm seeing you today on some new felony charges, burgling the first degree, possession of weapon during a felony drug offense, possession of narcotic drugs, drug paraphernalia, possession of burglary tools. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. If counsel sees the purpose of today, I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. And before I do that, regarding the interim counsel, Ms. Valentine and Mr. Poston, I was looking at the allegation of a weapon use and a flare gun. Did some case law research. A flare gun is not considered a deadly weapon unless there's some indication to show that it was being used as a for lethal use, which is the definition for deadly weapon, has to be used for lethal use. So-
Very well, Your Honor.
The weapons misconduct chart definitely be probable cause for burglary in the, I guess it'd be third degree, unless it's a residence, it'd be second degree, but as charged right now in the interim, I do not find probable cause for those. Does either council want to be heard on those?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. So the state's written recommendation was a $10,000 bond. Mr. Poston, would you like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Valentine?
We're requesting a possible release to pretrial services, given the fact that he has no violent prior felony history. However, if the court is not inclined to grant pretrial services release. We'd request a $2,500 bond. Thank you.
Right, thank you. All right, I'll impose a $2,500 bond. It will be cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. Conditions of any pretrial release would include no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons whatsoever. Monitoring treatment is directed by pretrial, no contact with the next court date, sir, is going to be June 12th at 1:30 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go forward, so please keep in contact